Hey, it's Joe AMoia, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com. Have you ever gone out with a guy? Maybe it was a couple of dates, a couple of weeks, maybe even a couple of months. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, poof, he just disappears. Well, if that's ever happened to you, I want you to pay close attention because today we're going to talk about the reasons that guys go ghost. Now, before we get into the details, let me tell you, there is not a week goes by that I do not get dozens of emails with the same question. Joe, I don't understand. Why did he disappear? Well, and to give you an example, this is one that I received just yesterday. Here it goes. Joe, the guy I was dating for 4 months disappeared, and after 6 months, he comes back and he apologizes, says he misses me, and then we go out and we have a great night. He says that he wants me for real now, that he wants something serious with me. And I said, yeah, we'll talk about it properly the next time that we catch up because we are on the way home and I didn't want to discuss it and get into it at 2 a.m. after we had such a nice night out. Now, since that night, he's disappeared again. What's going on? Help, please. Is he interested or scared? Well, you know what? Again, this is just another example of how many emails I get with this same premise. So we're just going to be honest, okay? There's only one reason and one reason only where a guy doesn't contact you. Okay. Now, this might hurt your ego. It might upset you. It might disappoint you. It might anger you. It might depress, whatever that may be. That's going to be your stuff. And I understand and I respect that. But the only reason a guy is not contacting you is it's not important enough for him to contact you. Okay. Now, I know that's a blow to your ego. I know it's, but Joe, we had such a great connection. We had such great chemistry. We had so much in common. He was a great kisser. I understand all of that. But I'm telling you, if a man is not contacting you, it's because it's not important enough for him to contact you. Look, I don't care where a man is on this earth. Okay. In today's world, with today's technology, you could be on the moon and you could video conference someone. Okay. You can send an email. You can send a text. You can FaceTime. You can go private message. You could do all of these things. You can Skype. You could do all of these options to reach out to connect someone. And I'm going to tell you that because I'm a guy. Okay. I've dated a lot of women in my lifetime. And I can tell you when I was interested in being with a woman or getting to know a woman, I'd make the time to contact that woman. And when I wasn't interested in that woman, I didn't make the time. I can't make it more simple than that. Now, that's the only reason. Now, I know some of you always want to go, yeah, but why? Why is it that, we had such a great connection? Why is it that he's blowing me off? Why was everything hot and heavy? And he said he wanted the relationship and then he disappeared. Well, now we're getting into a whole different story. And so what I believe or what I know is that it comes down to the emotional availability of a guy. And there are 5 types of emotionally unavailable guys. These are the guys who will just disappear, who will go ghost, even when they say they want a relationship. So what I've done is I've created a special report. It's called The 5 Types of Emotionally Unavailable Guys. And if you want a copy of that, all you got to do is click on the link in this video or the link below this video. But just to give you a little insight of the 5 different types of emotionally unavailable guys, the first one is an avoider. Okay, that's the guy who just avoids, doesn't want to talk about it, just disappears. The other one's the victim who blames you, makes you wrong, who says you're this or you're that, and then he disappears. The third one is the wounded child. That's the guy who has some emotional stuff from his past. He's afraid of being hurt. He's afraid of being vulnerable. He's afraid of getting his heart broken, and he disappears. The fourth is what I call the stud. That's the guy who, is the narcissist who thinks his shit doesn't smell, who thinks he's better than you, thinks he can do better, wants the really hot girl with the 34, 24, 36, blue eyes, all that stuff, and not going to waste his time on someone because you're beneath his standards. And the last one, and that's the coward. That's the guy who's just afraid of being in a relationship, who's afraid of being in a commitment. Even though he says he is, logically, emotionally, there's some stuff going on. Now, in this report, I go more in detail and explain these types of guys and why they do what they do. And I really suggest that you grab your copy of it. It's free. It's my gift to you because I simply want to help you shine light on what goes on. Because more often than not, the reason you struggle is because you want answers. And so you don't need the answers from the guys. Very often, the signs are there. There are things that you'll see. There are questions that you'll know especially as you are aware of this information, you can start engaging someone as you start dating them to see, where they're at. Because just because a person says they're looking for a relationship and they want a relationship and they're ready for a relationship doesn't mean that they actually are. Remember, actions will always speak louder than words. So that's my gift to you. Go ahead, click on the link and download it. And then after you do that, if this has happened to you, I'd love for you to go and say, you know what, the guy I was dating or the guy I was involved with or the guy I was married to was an avoider. Or you know what, he was a wounded child. Or you know what, the guy was a stud, he was a narcissist, whatever it may be. Because I want you to share your experience with the other members of the community so that they see that they're not alone and that there are guys like that out there. And it helps shine light so you can understand it. It just makes your journey easier and a little bit more enjoyable. So go ahead, download your free copy of the special report. And then after you do that, go ahead, put your question, comments, and feedback in the box below. As always, honor, privilege to be with you. I'll see you next time. Much love.